Good morning, children. Today we are going to continue our chapter that we had started in our last class, that was The Journey Begins. Now, from the very starting, we have talked about the main character, okay, on this particular character, the main stress has been given. The focus is totally on this main character, whose name is Phileas Fogg. Why is he so much noticed? Okay, let's first of all talk about this, because the very first thing that we have got to know when we have started reading the chapter is that the very quality which we got to know is that he is a very punctual man. Yes, he always maintains time, he is always on time, he follows time. Okay, time is the only thing that we can tag on this person, Phileas Fogg. So what happened, we got to know the daily routine of Phileas Fogg, and also we got the example of being a punctual person, because he was such a person that he used to be always on time, and whenever he used to go anywhere, or he was so much a believer on time that people, when saw him, they could imagine, or they could just make sure about the time that this might be the time right now. That means by seeing Phileas Fogg, they could not identify, but they could realize that this might be the time at that moment. We have got to know about this, and also we have got to know about the this daily routine of Phileas Fogg. So, and after that we saw that he goes straight to the Reform Club. He is given his breakfast there, then he reads some of the magazines and newspapers, and then he has his lunch. Then he moves again towards the room, and where he is found sitting just by the side of fireplace, okay, where the just beside that he sits. And at that time the various other members of the Reform Club, they also join Phileas Fogg, and we have also got to know about the names of the Reform Club. So there were 6 members. You have wrote it quite well. Okay, one thing that I wanted to speak about here is, most of you, what you are doing is, while I have given you that particular last question, no, where you have to write the daily routine of Phileas Fogg, you are somehow you are not completing it, or maybe in most of the things which I have seen is, you are starting from in between. Okay, see, you need to his day started from the moment when he came out of his house for having breakfast till up to the moment when he had his dinner. Okay, I think till he had his dinner, and he sat just beside the fireplace to have the meeting with the other members of the Reform Club. Okay, please mind this thing. Okay, let's continue now. We have revised it all together. Okay, so we just got to know about the names of the Reform Club members. Now let's see what happens. So as they had started discussing about some things, and some discussion was going on, so let's see what discussion was going on. Well, Ralph, said Flanagan, what about the robbery? So they were talking about some robbery which had happened in the country. Oh, remarked Stuart, the bank will lose the money. So obviously, if a bank has been robbed, that means they have lost their money. No doubt the investigation will be done, but they have, for right now, they have lost their money. On the contrary, broke in Ralph, I hope we will get the robber. Skillful detectives have been sent to all the principal ports of America and the continent. Now, just among themselves, they were talking about all the possible things which could have happened. One of them was saying that they have lost their money. Then again, someone says that no, nothing to worry about, because we are going to get the money back, because some very efficient detectives are working on this matter, on this project. So the what do you call this, the thief would be caught very soon. So these things are very unknown to you. Actually these things are not complete. Whatever we are hearing right now, we are getting to know right now, it is totally incomplete to us, because we don't know that what has happened, which incident has happened. So now it gives you the information. So mark this. A robbery had occurred 3 days before at the Bank of England. Okay, a package of banknotes to the value of £50,000 had been taken from the principal cashier's table. As soon as the robbery was discovered, detectives hastened off to Liverpool, Glasgow, Suez, Brindisi, New York and other ports. Detectives were also asked to closely watch those who arrived at or left London by rail. And the Daily Telegraph said that a well-dressed gentleman had been observed going to and fro in the room where the crime was committed on the day of the robbery. A description of him was sent to the detective. So this is the incident which had happened. Okay, so if this thing is asked to you that what happened, or what was the incident, or what was the discussion that the Reform Club members were talking about, then that is about your the robbery. This is the total description. Okay, so what had happened 3 days before, that means the day on which day they were discussing about this particular topic. On this day, before that, 3 days before, this robbery had occurred at the Bank of England. And what had happened? From there, a package of banknotes, some bags you can say, or a package group and there were the total amount of money, there was £50,000 had been taken from the principal cashier's table. And as soon as the robbery was discovered, and as soon as the bank informed about this robbery to have happened, so what happened, the detectives, some detectives were hired, and they were sent to the different parts of the country of London. Okay, and detectives were also asked to closely watch those who that means they were totally involved in or investigating the thing, that what happened, who might have done, because it was a very serious thing, because from the bank itself the package of notes had been robbed away. Okay, so this was a serious thing. And also those people had seen the face of the robber. Obviously maybe the robber's face was seen, or maybe the half face could have been seen. So whatever the identification thing was needed, so it was already reported, and so the detectives were now continuing their search. Everywhere people were wondering if the thief would be caught or not. The Reform Club was especially agitated, several of its members being bank officials. And why were they so much, this Reform Club members were so much worried about it? Because most of them were working in the bank, maybe the same bank or maybe the another one. I think we got one of the directors of the Bank of England, that was Gothier Rolfe. Okay, so Gothier Rolfe he was working in the bank, so he was more agitated, you can say. That means he was more upset, or he was more angered about that. I maintain, stayed Stuart, that the chances are in favor of the thief. That means maybe the thief will not be caught. Well, but where can he go to? He might have left the place. He might have fled away from there. But till where will he go? Someday or sometime he will be caught. Asked Rolfe, no country is safe for him, because everywhere the thing will be spread out. Okay. In all the parts of London, everywhere this will be spread out. Oh, I don't know that the world is big enough. Now, actually the thing is coming to the main point. Okay, these things are, this is a very minute thing. This incident is just an just a means, or just it's just a method through which the main topic is coming into the front. Let's see what happens. Oh, I don't know that the world is big enough. It was once. Now, for the first time actually, Phileas Fogg starts speaking. Okay, if you notice, then within this time, whenever whatever the discussion had gone till now, Phileas Fogg had not said anything. Yes, Ralph had said, Stuart had said, Flanagan, whoever. Phileas Fogg had not said anything. He is saying now for the first time. Now what he says is that when, who is this person? Ralph. Ralph says that the world is big enough. So the chances are maybe the thief will be caught or maybe not. So to that, Fogg, he answers that the world was actually big enough at some past time but is not right now. That means the world is small enough. Okay. What does he mean by that? Let's see. What do you mean by once? As Phileas Fogg said, it was once, said Fogg in a low tone. What do you mean by once? And this is asked by Stuart. Okay, Andrew Stuart. Has the world grown smaller? You think that once upon a time the world was big and now it has become smaller? How is this possible? How can the world shape or size can become bigger or smaller? Certainly, Ralph asserted. Yes, Ralph also supports Phileas Fogg. I agree with Mr. Fogg. The world has indeed grown smaller since one can now go round it 10 times more quickly than 100 years ago. That means Ralph is trying to say that some 100 years before the world was quite bigger, okay, but now it has grown smaller. Now it has the size or the shape has decreased now, and now one can go round the world. One can do a journey, okay, round the world 10 times more quickly than it could be done before. Yeah, that is true. But Stuart was not convinced and said with a short laugh, "You, Ralph, have a strange way of proving that the world has grown smaller. So because you can go round it in 3 months." So he is just trying to, Stuart is trying to make fun of what just Ralph said. He said that, okay, you are saying that some years before it was very big and now it has become smaller. So that means you can just move around the world within 3 months and you can come back. So Stuart was trying to mean that one can go around the world now, okay, in present time. Within 3 months they can go around the whole world, okay, chakkar katna of the whole world, and they can come back. That is what Stuart was trying to mean. Sorry, Ralph was trying to mean. But now, actually, this Phileas Fogg, he breaks in. He interrupts in. Just imagine the scene, okay. While Ralph and Stuart, they are talking with each other. On the one hand, Stuart is saying that how can the world grow smaller? What do you think? And Ralph says, yes, it has become smaller. One can now go around the world 10 times faster than it could have been some 100 years before. So then Stuart says, that means the conversation is going on between them, okay. So Stuart says that means within 3 months you can go around the whole world and then you can come back. So to that, Phileas Fogg interrupts, no, you are mistaken. In 80 days. Andrew Stuart said that means you can come back within 3 months around the whole world. You can make a journey of the whole world within 3 months and then you can come back. But Phileas Fogg, he interrupts in between. No, you are wrong about 3 months. It's not 3 months. It doesn't take 3 months. It takes only 80 days. Can you just imagine? My God. That is true, gentlemen, added John Sullivan. Huh? Only 80 days. Is it really possible? 80 days? Let's see. Here is the estimate made by the Daily Telegraph. You don't have to read all this. It's just an estimate given. See this. Okay, it's just an estimate which is given. They're trying to just prove their statements. Yes, in 80 days, exclaimed Stuart. But that doesn't take into account bad weather, contrary winds, shipwrecks, railway accidents, and so on. Now, okay, fine. Let's also consider that we can go around the whole world within 80 days. But if there comes such kind of problem like there is a bad weather, okay, or there caused some accident, whatever you go through, you might be taking the help, you are maybe going by ship, you are maybe going by flight, whatever. If you are going by flight, there might be the problem of bad weather. So in bad weather, a flight cannot travel. You cannot travel by flight. The pilot himself or herself, he will stop or she will stop. Okay, because no pilot will put in any way the life of the passengers in trouble, right? He or she will not get himself the confidence or the belief that yes, we can go now. And shipwrecks, anything might happen. Shipwrecks here means the accident of a ship. Okay, if you are going by ship also, then also it might happen something, you might face with some accident. So he is saying that okay, maybe we can go around the world within 80 days, but if any this kinds of thing happen, then it might take a little more time, say more than 80 days, maybe 100 to 200 types of days. But in this also, Phileas Fogg said that all included, doesn't matter if there is any shipwreck, if there is any railway accident, if there is any bad weather, contrary winds, nothing matters. We can go around the world within 80 days and we can come back. Even if there is contrary wind, any accident of the ship, any accident of railway, nothing matters. It will continue. Wow, what confidence. I would like to see someone do it in 80 days, challenged Stuart. Now, Phileas Fogg was such confident in his thing that now Andrew Stuart, he was now frustrated by seeing this, that why is this person continuing to say things which cannot happen? He is saying some things which are impossible. It's not possible. First of all, going around the world within 80 days. We can't even think of that. Okay. Next, if any accidents also happen, then also we can continue the journey. Is that possible? So he was now challenging. He was throwing a challenge in front of what is this called? Phileas Fogg. I would like to see someone do it in 80 days. Okay, fine. Let's see who can do. Shall we go? Asked Fogg. I wouldn't want to go myself, but I would wager 4,000 pounds that such a journey is impossible, as Stuart asserted. And now, Stuart, when he said that I would like to see someone, let's see, as you were saying that it is possible, let's see who can do it within 80 days. So Fogg says that, okay, I'll go. Will you go with me? So to that, Stuart says that I will not go. I don't want to go myself. But if anybody goes around the world and comes back within 80 days, then I bet of giving 4,000 pounds. That means if you win, suppose I am throwing the challenge, I don't believe in this, and I say that if you can go around the world within 80 days and you can come back, then I'll give you 4,000 pounds. That is the bet about. Quite possible, on the contrary, Fogg replied. Okay, fine, I accept. Well then, make it. Stuart dared him. Fine, if you agree, then go for it. I should like nothing better, said Fogg. Okay, this was too exciting a wager for him to resist. And now Fogg was very eager to go for this journey around the world. I should like nothing better. This is better for me. Nothing less than this, nothing more than this. I would like to go for it. Where can you start? Asked Stuart at once. Sorry, when can you start? Asked Stuart. And Stuart asked that when would you like to start? When will you go? And Fogg says, right now. At this very moment, I'll start. Really? It's absurd. Correct, Stuart. What you are saying? It's just meaningless. It just can't happen. Fogg seemed to be teasing him, and the teasing had gone on too far for him to take lightly. As I said, that he was thinking, Stuart was thinking that, Fogg was saying such things which seemed impossible, and he was thinking that maybe Fogg was simply teasing him. Okay, teasing, chherna. Okay, so he was thinking that maybe he was teasing him. Now, one thing, after that another, like this, now it has reached to a very serious kind of issue. While Stuart had let this, bet, okay, while Stuart had seriously accepted that, okay, if anybody wants to go, or if anybody comes back around makes this journey and come back, then I'll give 4,000 pounds. So at that moment, Fogg says that yes, I would like to go, and he will go right now. Okay, he wants to start the journey right now. So this is something which has now reached to a very serious point, and Stuart, he was too much frustrated now. Calm yourself, my dear Stuart, said Valentine. It's only a joke. But the other members, they were trying to calm down Stuart because they had also understood that the point is reaching to a very serious thing. Calm yourself, my dear Stuart, said Valentine. It's only a joke. Oh no, Fogg said. Seriously, I'm willing to accept the wager. But Fogg says that no, I'm not joking. I'm actually accepting the challenge. Right now I'll start it, and I'm willing to take the challenge. You are joking, said Valentine. But Valentine again says that no, you are joking. Just leave all this. Let's stop all this. I don't joke when I'm talking about such a serious thing as a challenge, replied Phileas Fogg solemnly. I claim that I will make a tour of the world in 80 days or less. It might not take 80 days for me. I might complete before 80 days. See, that is to say, in 1920 hours or 115,200 minutes, do you accept the challenge? That means he was quite fast in his mathematical calculation also. Okay, he had totally calculated the time which was going to take. That is almost like 80 days only. So within meaning of 80 days, how many hours, minutes, all that is written here, 1920 hours or 115,200 minutes, whatever. Do you accept the challenge? Stuart, Valentine, Sullivan, Flanagan and Ralph discussed this quickly with each other. Then they said in one voice, we accept. And then at last they said that yes, we accept. If you are ready to go, we would also like to see that if you can actually complete it or not. Good, said Mr. Fogg. The train leaves for Dover at 9:15. I'll take it. Mark this line. The train leaves for Dover at 9:15. I'll take it. This very evening? Are you going today, this evening? Asked Stuart. This very evening, replied Phileas Fogg. Again mark this. This very evening, replied Phileas Fogg. He consulted a pocket almanac. Now what is almanac? It's a small calendar, okay? It's a pocket calendar, and added, as today is Wednesday, 2nd October, I shall be due in London in this very room of the Reform Club on Saturday 21st December at 9:15 p.m. If I don't, I shall accept defeat. This part is very important. I'm showing you. You can see? Okay, I have marked this. This very evening, replied Phileas Fogg. he consulted a pocket almanac. He brought out an almanac from his, he took out a calendar, pocket calendar from his pocket, and he added, and he stated very clearly, do remember this, that day when he was leaving, that day was Wednesday. Okay, remember this part is very important. That day was Wednesday, 2nd October. I shall be due in London. I shall come back. Now he is leaving. He leaves on Wednesday. He leaves for the journey on Wednesday, 2nd October. I shall be due in London in this very room, and he shall come back. He will come back in this very room of the Reform Club on Saturday, 21st December at 8:45 p.m. Same time. He was leaving also at the same time, and he will come back also in the same time. And if I don't, I shall accept defeat. Phileas Fogg, accompanied by his butler, Passaporto, completes the exciting journey around the world in exactly 80 days. Now, this is just information given to you. Actually, what happened now, before, that means just 2 years before, when in the previous years there used to be a book of that was a workbook, companion book you might have got in your class 2 or 3. That time that workbook you used to get, no, there was this story, but right now it is, that workbook is not given to you, so you just only have this part. Otherwise, in that book the journey ends, okay, with like this. There was a chapter just for this. So there it was shown that he had actually returned from from around the world. Phileas Fogg, accompanied by his butler Passaporto, completes the exciting journey around the world in exactly 80 days to the minute. He returns to the Reform Club when there are 3 seconds left for the clock to strike to a 8:45, and not only he comes back within 80 days, but also he comes before time. When the particular time was there, just before that, 3 seconds before he entered the Reform Club. Okay, so I hope you have understood this chapter. This chapter was very interesting, and today we only marked from page number 38 about this, if you can see this one. Okay, and we marked from page number 41 this, you can see, okay, this part. And for your word meanings, you will mark, let's see from page number 37, no need, from page number 38, occupied him, drew up to, occurred, principal, cashier, hasten off, agitated. Then from page number 39, asserted, only one. From page number 40, contrary winds, wager, absurd. And from page number 41, solemnly and due. Okay, now one last thing I would like to tell you is that after reading this chapter and after going through this explanation, you just do understanding the text A number. Okay, there are only 3 questions, so you do this, and in the next class I'll provide you the question answers. Okay, I'll provide you the inside question answers, then I'll provide you the bookish question answers. Okay, so yeah, till then, stay safe and thank you.